Well, my TT position is, I guess it's always been in a state of evolution. Um, this year we tried to, I suppose, be a little more radical with it, push the seat more forward, lower the front end of the bike. You know, the key now is and you'll see with all of the top guys, is to really get the head out of the way. I mean, you can talk about the bike, you can talk about the wheels, talk about the body, but the most important thing is to just get your head down. So when you watch these TTs, you see these guys, I mean, most of them aren't even looking up. They're looking right down just in front of the front wheel, and they glance up occasionally and just try their best to keep their head out of the way. And for whatever reason, it's tough for me to do that, but it's certainly the fastest. Some people are born with fast TT positions. If you compare, I will use two examples, myself and Levi. I mean, Levi has the lowest drag numbers that they've ever tested. You know, he's a small guy. Whatever reason, the relationship between his legs and his torso, the flatness of his back, the ability for him to really drop that head, the ability for him just to be really, really low, coupled with the fact that he's small, makes him fast. And so it sounds complicated and it sounds like deep science, but it really isn't. I mean, you have those drag numbers from the person or the athlete, coupled with the power that they can produce on the bike. And you know, a rider that's 20% more aero than another guy needs 20% less power. And it's very simple. So you got to do both. You got to find that position that's number one, aero, but number two, also comfortable so that you can produce power in that position. And then you train it. I mean, I think that's the critical thing, is once you dial it in, you can go in the tunnel, you can look at all the pictures and all the images, but the most important thing is to get it set and to actually train in it. And so that's what you sort of see on race day when you show up, and it's the big time. You see the work that's been done. Back when I started, there were only a few wind tunnels in the United States, at least that were open for, you know, for us to use. And in recent years, they've built more and more, and now they have wind tunnels that are, while they're slightly less sophisticated than the top ones, they still work. And so your recreational cyclist or your avid cyclist or your time trial specialist that wants to win the Dallas, Texas time trial on the weekends, I mean, he can go to the wind tunnel. And he can, you know, buy 2 hours in the wind tunnel and really learn a lot. You could scour the internet for tips. You could read articles for tips. It's not that complicated, I think, when it comes to these things. There's probably 4 or 5 things, with the head being the most important. When you narrow the shoulders, you lower the head, you flatten the back, you get that body as low as possible. We draw this line between really the center of the hip and the center of the shoulders. And you know, the flatter that line, the more aero you are. Now, again, having said that, that position still has to produce power. So you could make that line completely flat, but you could not pedal a bike. So then you back off of that and you get to that perfect place.